A Faint Cold Fear by Karin Slaughter. Read by Deborah Hazlett.
Chapter 1. Sara Linton stared at the entrance to the Dairy Queen, watching her very pregnant sister walk out with a cup of chocolate-covered ice cream in each hand. As Tessa crossed the parking lot, the wind picked up, and her purple dress rose above her knees. She struggled to keep the jumper down without spilling the ice cream, and Sara could hear her cursing as she got closer to the car. Sara tried not to laugh as she leaned over to open the door, asking, "Need help?" "No," Tessa said, wedging her body into the car. She settled in, handing Sara her ice cream. "And you can shut up laughing at me." Sara winced as her sister kicked off her sandals and propped her bare feet on the dashboard. The BMW 330i was less than 2 weeks old, and Tessa had already left a bag of goobers to melt in the back seat and spilled an orange Fanta on the carpet in the front. Had Tessa not been nearly 8 months pregnant, Sara would have strangled her. Sara asked, "What took you so long?" "I had to pee." "Again?" "No, I just like being in the bathroom at the damn Dairy Queen," Tessa snapped. She fanned her hand in front of her face. "Jesus, it's hot." Sara kept her mouth shut as she turned up the air conditioning. As a doctor, she knew that Tessa was merely a victim of her own hormones. But there were times when Sara thought that the best thing for all concerned would be to lock Tessa in a box and not open it until they heard a baby crying. "That place was packed," Tessa managed, around a mouthful of chocolate syrup. "Goddamn, shouldn't all these people be at church or something?" Sara said. "The whole place was filthy. Look at this parking lot," Tessa said, swooping her spoon in the air. "People just dump their trash here and don't even care about who has to pick it up, like they think the trash fairy's going to do it or something." Sara murmured some words of agreement, eating her ice cream as Tessa continued on a litany of complaints about everyone in the Dairy Queen, from the man who was talking on his cell phone to the woman who waited in line for 10 minutes and then couldn't decide what she wanted when she got to the counter. After a while, Sara zoned out, staring at the parking lot, thinking about the busy week she had ahead of her. Several years ago, Sara had taken on the part-time job of county coroner to help buy out her retiring partner at the Hartsdale Children's Clinic. And lately, Sara's work at the morgue was playing havoc with her schedule at the clinic. Normally, the county job did not require much of Sara's time, but a court appearance had taken her out of the clinic for 2 days last week, and she was going to have to make up for it this week by putting in overtime. Increasingly, Sara's work at the morgue was infringing on clinic time, and she knew that in a couple of years she would have to make a choice between the two. When the time came, the decision would be a hard one. The medical examiner's job was a challenge, one Sara had sorely needed 13 years ago, when she had left Atlanta and moved back to Grant County. Part of her thought her brain would atrophy without the constant obstacles presented by forensic medicine. Still, there was something restorative about treating children, and Sara, who could not have children of her own, knew that she would miss the contact. She vacillated daily on which job was better. Generally, a bad day at one made the other look ideal. "Getting on up there," Tessa screeched, loud enough to get Sara's attention. "I'm 34, not 50. What the hell kind of thing is that for a nurse to say to a pregnant woman?" Sara stared at her sister. "What?" "Have you heard a word I've said?" She tried to sound convincing. "Yes, of course I have." Tessa frowned. "You're thinking about Jeffrey, aren't you?" Sara was surprised by the question. For once, her ex-husband had been the last thing on her mind. "No." "Sara, don't lie to me," Tessa countered. "Everybody in town saw that sign girl up at the station Friday." "She was lettering the new police car," Sara answered, feeling a warm flush come to her cheeks. Tessa gave a disbelieving look. "Wasn't that his excuse the last time?" Sara did not answer. She could still remember the day she'd come home early from work to find Jeffrey in bed with the owner of the local sign shop. The whole Linton family was both amazed and irritated that Sara was dating Jeffrey again. And while Sara, for the most part, shared their sentiments, she felt incapable of making a clean break. Logic eluded her where Jeffrey was concerned.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?